Yeah, that part is whack.
To this game.
Snooze fest.
She played super well, and she had a really cute post-game interview where
everyone knows it. Everyone's been preaching it. It's like a church at this point.
Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. This week, the PBF had its first ever All-Star game. League One had a little bit of a slower week, and NCAA men's game is starting to pop off. So we gotta take a look. But first, let's look at some news. For news this week, we have the VNL host cities for the finals decided upon. For the women, it was in Poland, and for the men, it was in China. And this is significant news for the US because the US was bidding for the men's, and it would have been cool, but obviously we lost to China, and kind of sucks that we lost the bid for the men's game because you do want the men's game to also get some love and grow a little bit.
Yeah, I think if US got the bid, I think that would have really helped men's volleyball and even like boys volleyball. I think that would just help hype it up a little bit more. Because, it's great that the women's game is getting all this love, but you do want to see the men's and boys thrive a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, in China, it'll still be really good. I think for the game, it's a big market. So
I think the audiences will be super cool, but it just, from the US perspective, it just sucks that we couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for the news. Not too much to talk about. So let's move on to our main topics. So first off, we have the PBF All-Star Game, which was hosted in Indiana, where their new expansion team this year hosted it. So that was pretty cool. It was Team Collier versus Team Chandel. So 2 coaches for the teams. It was a pretty cool event. They think the format of it was that they played 3 sets. The set count didn't really matter, and it was more like a final score type of thing. So it ended up being a 3-0 anyways, but it was an interesting format for them.
Yeah, Team Chandel ended up beating Team Collier, but yeah, the format was really weird. It was pretty whack, honestly. I prefer you just let them play straight up. Yeah. Even if you play only the 3 sets, just let them play straight up.
Yeah.
I think the idea was at least force a 3rd set regardless of what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I think also so they can kind of pretend to be like a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
But
it kind of reminds me of like how they make the NBA All-Star game kind of as competitive as possible when the players don't care. Yeah. But on the contrasting part of that is the PBF All-Star game was nice because the players actually cared. They were trying to win, and like they were in it, trying to compete and trying to take home the W. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, super cool to see all of them go all out for whatever reason. No, I don't know exactly what the incentives were for them to win, but maybe they're just playing for love of the sport and because it's fun.
Yeah, maybe bragging rights.
Super cool. Yeah, I mean, just had fun with each other. It was fun.
Yeah, I think one thing that I saw a clip from the Out of System boys, and it was Joe talking about the differences between Love and PBF. And his point was that PBF is really more fan bases and truly competing against each other, trying to win, versus Love is sometimes like it's like scrimmages.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with
heat
that.
In competition.
It kind of, I think the Classic was good for them. I think that was something to show more competition.
Yeah, they're actually playing for money and stuff, so they kind of cared a little more.
Yeah, but I think if you aren't watching the PBF, I think it's definitely something to watch because the games can get pretty hype, even if whatever you might say about it.
Yeah, the entertainment factor is 100% there. It is a little bit lower of a level of volleyball, but the entertainment value is 100% there.
Yeah, man, and I think the PBF All-Star Game, I think, is definitely something to hopefully catch some eyes, and I think people should definitely be watching it more.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out apparently because it looked like it was a sold-out crowd. The stadium was super full, so that was also super cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, CBS is awesome.
Yes, CBS, national TV, very cool.
Super hype.
And talk more about the game, highlight some of the players. I think Brooke Nunaviller and Azani Taylor for Team Chantel were the 2 standout players. Brooke Nunaviller had 13 points. Azani Taylor got 11 points. Both pretty cool. And to go with the fact that it was hosted in Indy, Azani Taylor, Brittany Abercrombie, and Azani Taylor, Sydney Hilly, and Kylie Murr from Indy were all playing. in the game, and they all did super well. So it was good to get their fan base more engaged and watching their favorite all-stars play in the game at a super high level.
Yeah, I think the All-Star game was definitely good. I will say I've been a fan of Brooke Nunnever since she was at Oregon. She's so fun to watch. I think as an outside, she's been really good, and as an all-around player, she's really nice.
Yep.
So
Yep.
definitely had fun watching that.
Yep. So super fun game. They're all playing like to a very high level, and it was interesting to see that they were playing at the high level just because games resumed for them the next day. So that was a little weird.
Yeah, that part is whack. I don't know why they're making them play right afterwards.
Yeah, at least give them a day break or something like that.
Yeah, especially because maybe you make money off of, maybe they get paid if they win, but besides that, like, why would, they need more incentive to still be able to play hard, win the game, and then, give them, like, at least a day. Like, you got to play games right afterwards. It's crazy.
Yeah, it just sucks that, like, say, like, a team's star players could be coming off of playing in this game. Obviously, maybe they're not playing. I mean, they played pretty hard, but maybe not 100%. So maybe they still have a little bit more gas, but he did just play.
I know. Yeah, I don't really get that, but
yeah, but that's fine. I mean, PF All-Star game, super cool, but we can probably move on. Not much else to talk about. Now we can talk about the League One games. It was a little bit of a slower week, which started off super slow on the Wednesday right after the Classic. It was Austin versus Houston. Not much significance to this game.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, Houston played literally one of their starters, and it was Jess Merzick, and she didn't start the game either.
I think the only part of the game that was fun for me was watching Maddie Skinner go nuclear.
Yeah.
I think besides that, I really didn't care much for the game.
Yeah.
I like to be engaged, and I want to watch it and have fun watching it, but that one was a little hard just because there wasn't really much going on for Houston.
Yeah, if there was any game to really say, oh, this feels like a scrimmage and a practice match, it was this game.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, Houston won the Classic, and it's shorter turnaround.
Yeah, they had both of these teams had the 3-game schedule.
Yeah,
so.
And they just played.
They played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, yeah, so they played on Sunday. Both of them played on Sunday.
Yep.
Not each other, obviously, but they played a game on Sunday, and then you only have a couple days, and you got to play back on Wednesday. So,
yep.
To be fair, I guess for Houston, maybe you want to get them some rest.
Yeah, they also just won. Both teams won prize money just now, so this game in like the grand scheme doesn't mean too much. It's fine to take a break.
Yeah, but again, I think highlight of the game was definitely Maddie Skinner. Mm-hmm. She's still showing why she was considered, I would say, the best player in women's NCAA.
Yeah.
And now she's showing it on a pro level.
Yep.
So
makes you question a little bit why she didn't play on that Sunday game, but that's okay.
We don't have to talk about that. I don't really get that either. It's your team.
It's fine.
I don't know what they were doing.
Yep. It's fine.
I don't know why.
This game, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We can move on to Thursday's games. Not too much better. Thursday's game started off with Houston playing again, where all the starters did play this time, and they 3-0'd Omaha for the first game of the day.
I think this is just another game where it makes me question how good Omaha really can be when these other teams start to step it up offensively and defensively. Like, just when these teams start to round out their game. I think this is where Omaha, again, like, the offense is what scares me.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this game, again, felt like maybe the Houston side, it felt a little bit more serious from them.
Sure.
For Omaha, it felt like, they're coming up. This was their first game coming off of the Classic weekend, so they took it a little slow. And not that they were looking great before, but it looked
they looked like they came out slow.
Yeah,
it did look slow for them.
Wasn't great. Jordan Thompson got player of the match, 20 kills, 2 blocks, 1 ace, 48.6 hitting efficiency, super good. She kind of dominated the entire match.
What do you expect, right? Yeah. She's been doing this to every single team.
Yeah.
She'd probably be doing it to all the PVF teams. She's just been that good so far this season. So, that's kind of what you come to expect at this point.
Yeah. This was a good comeback game for Houston where they decided they took the game off the day before and they came back stronger the next day.
Yeah, they took it serious and they actually ended up winning. But
Yeah.
that's how it looks for Houston nowadays, right? If they actually take their game seriously and they play the way that they probably should be playing, I don't know who they are gonna lose to, honestly, at this point.
Yeah.
The way I think about it, the way I see it, I think Houston might actually be the best team.
Yeah, they definitely ramped it up a little bit more unexpected, but they're super good now, and Omaha is on the down, and this was like a rest game or whatever for them. So kind of another throwaway game, really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take too much. I mean, Omaha doesn't look good, but I wouldn't take too much out of it from them. They just looked slow.
Notable, I think, is Stivrins is still playing middle.
Yeah.
I think they're still trying to figure that out while Herrera's out, right?
Yeah, so she's injured.
You know, again, more lineup questions for them, what to do, but I don't know.
It's a little weird, but we'll see more next week, which is probably a bit more of an important week where every team is more rested. They're getting a little bit longer to rest after the Classic, playing all those days in a row. So we'll see next week. Second game of the day was Austin versus Salt Lake. Austin won 3-1. I think it was a little bit of the same where Salt Lake, this is their first game back after the Classic. They came out a little bit slow. Austin already had their warm-up game. Their starters were playing, so they kind of just did their thing.
Yeah, I mean, Salt Lake ended up taking a set, but it wasn't really that convincing. And the sets were close actually too, but it didn't really feel like Salt Lake was gonna really challenge Austin that much.
Yeah, it felt like the scores were closer than the game was.
Yeah, I think momentum was definitely on Austin's side for sure.
Yeah, and significant this game was actually Zoe Jarvis was not the libero. She got a little bit more rest. Koto Inoue was the player of the game even and playing at libero, and she had 20 digs and 4 assists. She played super well, and she had a really cute post-game interview where everyone else on the Austin team was behind her, like hoping that she was gonna do well in the interview and like cheering her on. So that was super fun.
Yeah, it was like a fan club was being created on the sideline when they were watching her interviewed.
Yes, vibes are immaculate on that team, is what I'll say.
Yeah, Austin's looking good too. I mean, they've been on a hot streak now. I think, you know, the vibes are definitely looking up right now.
Yes. So I feel like on the top end, it's looking a lot more competitive for League One.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's good. But otherwise, not too much to say. Salt Lake, another rough outing from their outsides. Kind of what we've been saying, where their outside play is kind of what needs to like step it up, because when it gets inconsistent or they start playing bad, that's when things start to fall apart more for them.
And Skylar Fields didn't play too, which I think is obviously going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, when they don't have too much outside offense, losing your main right side offense
for sure,
be tough.
Yeah.
So,
and Casanova still played well for you know the time that she was in the game. Like, she still made an impact on the game, but I think Austin overall definitely took it.
Yeah, and like we said, rest game kind of still. So we can just move on to the next game. Last game of the week, Friday. It was Atlanta versus Madison, and Atlanta ended up winning 3-2 in a game that didn't look like it was going to be close at first, but then Madison started to look good, and it was competitive.
Man, don't get me started on this. This is crazy. They came out looking so slow, and like they didn't even want to be in the game in the first 2 sets.
Yep.
But I think they eventually woke up. I think, honestly, the turning point for them was when they actually started playing Claire Chassé. I think once she was in the game, she actually gave them some fire. And you know Lauren Carlini definitely can bring fire, but I don't think she was that excited in the game until you saw Claire get 1 hit, and then, you know, Carlini is going to get all amped up, and then that's all they needed. And then they could actually start playing the game.
Yeah, I think when everyone's playing poorly, it's harder for Carlini to get, like, in the cheering up everyone type of mood. She gets more like heated. She's like, oh, I want to win.
Yeah, I mean, she's
more
super
competitive in that way.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good that Chassé came out. Even though she started off hot, I think her stats didn't end up too good, but she did come in at first and really brought the team alive.
Yeah, she definitely impacted the game. I think she's just high error. I think that's why her numbers look not very good.
Yeah.
Because she only played, the last
2-3
2.5 sets because you count the third one, but you know, she had 5 errors for 10 kills, so it was a great 10 kills, but 5 errors is a lot. So
yeah,
I think that's definitely what brought down her numbers. But again, I think just offensively, she definitely brought an extra level and an extra gear for Madison, and they actually looked like they were in the game.
Yeah.
But Atlanta's still the best team so far in the league. So
Atlanta was actually the ones who looked like they started to like, after they won the first 2 sets, they started to take a little slower. I think they're probably also a little bit tired from the Classic. Even though they only played 2 games, they played the last 2. So maybe a little bit more tired, more travel, and not as much rest. So it's hard to say what happened for those 2 sets. I know Madison did look good, but it did look uncharacteristically bad from Atlanta.
yeah, they let it slip a little bit.
Yeah.
I think just focus-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of won the first 2 pretty well, so.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna stay a little easy, even
Yeah.
if Madison did make their they rallied a little bit.
Yeah, you didn't think they were going to actually somehow reverse sweep.
Yeah.
I mean, even I was a fan of Madison at the moment. I didn't think they were going to reverse sweep, even when they were in the 5th set. Yeah. I'm like, I still don't really think that they can win it, but I was happy while they were doing it. So
the only time I thought it was before the 5th set started.
Yeah,
and then it started, and I went, Atlanta's awake.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went on a big run.
Yeah,
and then that kind of, that definitely sucks the momentum back onto Atlanta's side, and then they were able to run away with it.
Yep. So, and another probably last thing to talk about is that for Madison, Annie Drew's actually started to look really good again. She's taking full swings, and she's demanding more of the ball, taking more command of the offense in general. So she is becoming the great offensive player that we knew that they needed and that they've been looking for.
This is what we need.
Yes.
I think I've just been preaching that the whole time because I know she can do it, obviously. I mean, she's been insane for USA, and I know that she can do it. Obviously, there was the injury at the start of the season, so that, that slowed her down. And she's just been trying to get a rhythm.
Yep.
And she's finally starting to look like she's that go-to hitter for them. And, she definitely showed up. So
when we see her get to that, hopefully similar to like Jordan Thompson level again,
we'll see.
Then I think Madison will finally be out of the kind of gutter of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even deny that.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna deny that for sure.
So hopefully good things will happen, but I think that's it for League One this week. So now it's time to catch up on the NCAA men's. It's been super hyped this season. I think this is probably one of the seasons where there's been like the most attention, obviously due to Nikolov, but I think people are starting to watch a lot more games and get a lot more excited. So it's time for us to tap in.
All right. So first off, everyone knows it. Everyone's been preaching it. It's like a church at this point. It's Long Beach.
Yep.
Either you love them or you hate them. Long Beach is still number 1. They're still undefeated right now.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, they ended up being the final undefeated team. So they did beat UCLA, very significant. Nikolov is looking gross. Just the offensive option that he brings to this team is like scary because he can do it from anywhere. So, I mean, obviously the rest of the players incredibly great, but I think Nikolov is what's really adding like another level to this team, taking them to like kind of that top tier that it's going to be hard for anyone else to touch.
I feel like people don't get it wrong that he's like, it's just smoke and mirrors. It's just all fancy, fun looking stuff.
Yes.
He really is an insane setter. Obviously he was playing for
Bulgarian national
for the
team.
Bulgarian national team, right? So he's obviously that good, but people, I think, are starting to just worry about his highlight plays and all the crazy stuff with him waving around.
People think that he's clip farming, but he's only clip farming because he's that good.
But I think he's genuinely trying to have fun, and he's experimenting with the game. And I think that's just one way to help it grow is this dude is, 19, 18? I don't know how young he is. He's 18, and he looks like he is trying to invent new ways to play the game. And I think people don't get it wrong that he's just trying to do just fun, what is it? Millennial stuff. He's actually playing the game out there and he's thinking it. And I mean, the craziest thing is he gets his hitters one-on-ones all the time.
Yes, when he's playing seriously in these serious matches, he's not clip farming like that. So he is just playing super well.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't think there's too much to like analyze more about him. He is just the top tier player, and there's like a reason why he's the most popular.
Yeah. I mean, and there's all the clips of his serve. I mean, it's insane.
He's breaking records, and he's breaking his own records.
I mean, he's straight up he's serving as fast as pitchers throw a baseball at this point.
He's serving at a level that is already top tier for like world class volleyball.
Yeah.
So he could be playing professional with this serve, and it would be at that level.
He'd be scoring for sure. It's ridiculous what he's doing. I mean, it looks like the receivers on the other side of the net don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're definitely like.
There's no way they've seen a serve this fast before yet.
Understandably, it's definitely scary, especially because his broad jump is crazy. He is serving from like an extra like 10 feet in.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
And how tall is he? He's what, 6'9"?
Yeah.
He's 6'9", serving that close to you, like
with long arms.
Yeah, how are you supposed to react? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's super difficult. So, Long Beach, very good. But we'll wrap up the Simeon Nikolov Glaze part.
All around, I mean, the team has been really good. I think they've had really notable wins too, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they've beaten GCU, Pepperdine as well, right?
Yep.
And obviously UCLA.
Yep.
So
2-0 versus them series.
Yeah, they've beaten them twice. So I think they've earned the spot from the AVCA poll. I mean, we can talk about that later, but
yeah, I mean.
For sure.
When they're beating the other top teams, there's not much you can say. I mean, UCLA is the only like top 5. I think that's kind of the range where we're like, oh, these are the true contenders. But like this top 5 range, they beat UCLA, and UCLA's beaten some of the other teams. So by the transitive property, they're the number 1 team, and they're undefeated. So we haven't even seen them in a loss yet.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been beating all the good teams. So I think you have to give them number 1.
Yep, and some of their significant players for the right side, Daniil Hershtinovich. He's their kill leader with 129 on the season, and one of their top blockers with 30 blocks. So that's already crazy that they have a right side that's that good. I think he's also like 6'9", something super
huge.
tall. Yeah.
I think the funny thing is if you see like any of the clips from Nikolov's sets, he's almost always the beneficiary of a one-on-one, and he just absolutely just destroys the ball.
Yes, he always feeding the right side, and it's he's always making a crazy like boom.
And he's just getting him one-on-ones all day. So that's probably, if you don't know him already, that's probably who he is.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, not to sleep on their outsides as well. Skylar Vargas is super good, and yeah, it's hard to play against this team when they have insane pin hitters. Their setter can hit like a pin hitter. Their middle blockers are also very good. And sometimes you do see the clips from Nikolov to them as well. I mean, I think they could be a little bit undersized. I think Darius McRaven is good. He has mad hops, but a little bit undersized relative to the rest of their giant team, I guess. But
that's kind of like the trend nowadays. Is there's some of the shorter-ish middles, and shorter is like 6'5".
Yeah.
So they're still really tall, but
very tall middles.
But shorter compared to other players on the team, maybe. But because they're so quick and they're so fast,
you want the dynamic,
get away with it.
The dynamic middles.
Obviously, there's still some really tall middles. There's still some 6'10" middles out there, but I mean, there's definitely some middles that can make it work when they're shorter.
Yeah, and one last thing for Long Beach, just wanted to highlight their libero, Kellen Larson. He's stepping in for Mason Briggs, which is pretty big shoes to fill because before Nikolov, Mason Briggs was like one of the main like hype guys that everyone who was watching the NCAA men's was trying to keep their eye on. So everyone's saying next libero for USA, Mason Briggs. So it's cool to see him step into those shoes, and he's not backing down.
I was definitely one of those people that was a big fan of Mason Briggs. I was really hoping for him to win that championship last year. I know we didn't get it, but I love watching Mason Briggs play, and I've just been really impressed with how Kellen Larson has been playing. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's definitely stepped into those shoes pretty well. Obviously, it helps when you have a fantastic setter.
Yeah.
It can make your passes look good even when they're not as good. Mm-hmm. So, but again, he's just been really good at keeping the defense locked down while Nikolov can just run the offense.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. So all good. So we can move on to our next team.
All right. So next from the poll, from AVCA poll, is the number 2 seed, and it's UCLA. I feel like UCLA has still had some bumpy parts in there, obviously losing to Long Beach twice, but they've still shown that they've beaten good teams and that I would still put them at number 2.
Yeah, I mean, they did just hop up this week from number 3 to number 2, passing up Irvine after coming off the loss to Long Beach. So it's good for them. I mean, Irvine, it felt like they woke up after the loss to Long Beach and went, we need to lock in because it's the main part of the season. It's time for, conference play. It's time for conference play now. So it's time to lock in. They're trying to figure everything out, and they just looked really good versus Irvine and obviously deserve that number 2 spot.
I think Long Beach came out and they just slapped them across the face.
Yeah, told them to wake up.
UCLA definitely woke up. I think they realized, it's not going to be a walk in the park. We can't just win the national championship real easy and just play Long Beach.
Yeah.
Now you have to worry about these other teams. And obviously they've come out and done that when they beat UC Irvine twice. I think Irvine is a really good team too. So UCLA definitely has been showing up now.
Yeah, I think we got to highlight Andrew Rowan, one of the other great setters in NCAA. Obviously, he's helped lead UCLA to their back-to-back championships in the previous 2 years. And this year, he's, again, looking really, really good. I think he's able to play with the offense super well, even when he's gotten like an out-of-system ball. So I think that's super cool for him to do as a setter. And it's one of the reasons why people are looking at him to be the next USA setter.
Yeah, I mean, Micah Christensen is not going to play for another, 8 years.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like he could.
Yeah.
Because he's still playing like he's 26 out there, but still. I think Andrew Rowan has looked really good. Obviously, he's been able to run a really great offense. And he's just been a really great USA setter, so.
Yeah. After LA, I don't know if we're really going to be seeing Micah Christensen for the next...
Yeah, we got to be realistic, guys. He's not playing for forever.
Yeah, so this is someone to look forward to in the future for Team USA, so could be super cool. Obviously, talk about their outsides, 2 of the best outsides in the game, Cooper Robinson and Zach Rama. Zach Rama stepping up from not really playing too much last year, but obviously UCLA graduating class. So it's his turn to step up, and I think he stepped up pretty well, and he's playing really well, but obviously Cooper Robinson, outside from last year, still the number 1 outside option.
Yeah, I mean, Big Coop has been killing it. I mean, what is he? He's also like 6'8". He's huge.
Yeah. Very tall.
And he's got like a 40-inch vert, so he's going to be able to hit real hard and real high. So he's been really consistent for them. Definitely one of the best outsides right now. So
yep.
He's definitely been able to lead the offense, as a hitter. He's been out there.
And probably last main player to talk about, Cam Thorne as a middle. Very, very good. He's just been playing super well, blocking super well. He makes himself available as an offensive option, even though UCLA's passing hasn't been the best in the league or in college volleyball. So it doesn't get used too much, but when he does get used, super elite, and he's a good blogger.
I mean, he's definitely really good at running like the pop floats, and I think that's the appeal of a shorter but super athletic middle.
Yep.
Is that they can move very well laterally, and he's definitely shown that shorter middles at the top level can still make it, and they can still play with the big guys. So
yep.
I think I should shout out Sean McQuiggan. I think he had an absolute beast of a game. I don't remember, it might have been against Irvine, where, I mean, this dude went like 10 for 10. He had 10 kills. He had a bunch of blocks. He was just roofing people on Irvine all back and forth. So definitely shouts out to their big man right there.
Yep. Oh, Irvine. But it's a perfect transition for us. It's time to move on to Irvine.
UC Irvine has come out to be AVCA number 3 seed. So they've also had some really good games, for sure. I mean, they definitely beat notable teams, right? They've beaten Stanford.
Yep.
They've beaten BYU. They've also beaten USC. All really good teams.
Yep. All in the top 10, so.
But we just talked about it. They've also lost twice to UCLA.
Yeah, that's tough.
Which I think is what earns them the number 3 seed.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically why they dropped. They lost to the team that ended up being number 2. Obviously haven't played Long Beach yet, but that should also be a pretty close game. I think for UC Irvine, it's like, in my opinion, they're super, super good in every single position. Their setter just happens to be a little bit undersized and
A little bit.
a lot of bit undersized, and I think that gets taken advantage of. And in general, he's not at the same top level as, obviously Nikolov and Andrew Rowan. And I think he's even more of I'd say he's like a step down. It's probably would not be a top 10 level setter normally.
He's really good though.
Yeah.
I will say he is a really good setter, so definitely give him that. But I mean, when you have really good options to set to, it definitely can make a setter look good too. So.
Yeah. Personally, I think his connection doesn't look the greatest, or at the very least during the UCLA matches, his connection was very questionable with them, and he just had good hitters that were doing their best. But more importantly, on the block, he gets taken advantage of, especially against these. We have a lot of giant players in the men's game now, so these people are already over half a foot taller than him to begin with. They have long arms. They're basically just hitting over him, and it's tough.
It's not even really his fault.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just was not born to be that tall.
Yeah.
And at this point, at the top levels for the men's game, sometimes it really is just a height check.
Yeah.
Are you tall enough to play the game? Unless you're a libero, you can kind of get away with it. But even now, the liberos at this point are also much taller.
Yeah.
So it's kind of become a height check. You have to be a certain height or you can't really play at this top level.
Yeah. I mean, when the players are just reaching so high, getting so high, unless you're a shorter player. I mean, even then, there's probably a bare minimum. And I think he's barely at the bare minimum.
I think he is the bare minimum.
He's the bare minimum. Obviously, he jumps super high, but when everyone's jumping super high,
you can't. Yeah, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I relate to it when we have to play against super tall people, but it just sucks to see it getting abused at the top level.
Yeah, he kind of reminds you of a Sakita for Japan. He's an undersized setter, but he found a way to make it work and play against the top teams and the top players in the world.
Yeah.
But you can only do so much. Again, he also gets taken advantage of when he's blocking. There's only so much you can do at a certain height.
And it definitely helps when behind Sakita, at least, they have some of the best defenders in the world.
For sure.
But obviously UCI, good defense, but not Japanese level. So it's harder to make up for that.
Yeah.
And I think whenever they play against Long Beach, it'll probably get exposed a little bit again.
And UCLA again, if they end up seeing each other
if they match up
later
again.
on.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough look, but oh well. But talk more positively about them. Let's talk about some of their, like we said, other position players, super good. Hilir Heno, their outside National Player of the Year last year, obviously super good. He's going to be in the running for National Player of the Year again this year. Yeah, insane. He has 181 kills already. Kind of gross. And then Nolan Flexen, their right side, also super good. 173 kills. The offense, nasty.
Heno, the Frenchman, he just knows how to score points.
Yeah.
He makes the blockers question if they're blocking correctly. He'll just tap it off of you and it'll hit and it'll just go out.
Yep.
He does everything and he can also just hit over you.
Yep.
So he's just
got the physicality and he's smart. So.
And he's also got a rocket of a serve.
Yep.
He also has an amazing serve. So he's definitely the leading reason why UCI is just so good.
Yep. So.
And Nolan Flexen has been amazing on the right side. He's been
when we have
really
pins like
spot.
that, Jesus.
And hey, again, another person that you can't expect to play for forever, Matt Anderson. Nolan Flexen has been very, very good.
Yes.
He could be the next right side for what USA is looking for, right?
Yep. We will definitely have to see. I mean, especially with how USA is looking for the national team wise for the next couple of years, because we already have the automatic bid for the Olympics. A lot of players will be taking off. We're going to see a lot of these young guys who are going to be able to step up, take some of these turns to go to the VNL World Championships, whatever. So we could see him there.
Yeah. Matt Anderson is not young and spry anymore, man.
I don't think he wants to play again. But...
So you need someone to be a bright spot for the right side for USA. And I think he could definitely be that. So we do have to look for him if he's going to be playing in these World Championships or anything like that.
We will see this summer what our USA teams are looking like. So we're looking forward to that. We can probably move on again.
All right, next up is the 4 seed from the ABCA poll, and it's going to be Hawaii.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know how you feel. I personally do agree. I think Hawaii should be here at 4.
Yep.
I think
rounds it out.
There's a couple teams that are in there, but I would put Hawaii at 4 still.
Yeah, I think this is about where you could say the standings are like pretty perfect, and then a little bit below it, that's where everything gets a little bit more messy and jumbled. So Hawaii, super good. Of the top teams that they've beaten BYU, and they split their series with Stanford, so it's crazy. And leading the charge, Tread Rosenthal, 6'11" setter. You have a 6'11" setter. I don't know what else needs to be said.
That is unreal.
He's good, too.
It is unreal.
Yeah. I mean, when the ball's coming from such a high point, it's easier to run a faster offense, and it puts a lot more pressure on the block because it's harder to read it, and it's coming from a really high point, making it easier for the hitters to hit. He's just too good. I mean, obviously not the same exact level as like Nikolov or Rick. Why did I just blank on his name? Andrew
Rowan.
Yeah, the same level as Andrew Rowan.
Or
but
Carlos. We kind of were talking badly about Carlos, but he's been good. So
yeah,
you know, he's obviously was leading one of the best teams. So, and then you also have to put Rosenthal in there.
Yeah, I mean, when he's 6'11" and he's probably one of your best blockers, and he's blocking the other team's outsides. When in the men's game, you need to run your outsides a lot because you just have to be super pin heavy in the men's game. Having to go up against the 6'11" block on the outside, followed up with a middle who could also end up being tall. Or reaching high. That's just disgusting. It's kind of the exact opposite of UCI in the center respective, actually.
Yeah, that is kind of funny thing about.
Yeah, it's kind of funny they went back to back like that, but yeah, he's insanely physical, still very, very skilled setter. He can move pretty well. Super good. Shout out some of their other players. Christian Titrisky for the right side, Adrian Rohr for the outside, and Kurt Nunster, one of the very good middles that we say matches up with Rosenthal, seals the block. It's a disgusting combo.
Yeah, I think Hawaii's just been really solid. I think all the way around, all positions, I think they've just been really solid.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting when they do get to play some of these tougher teams, though.
Yeah, that's where we're going to see how the matchup really, really goes, because I think they're 13-1 right now, but a lot of those wins are against questionable teams.
Yeah,
to say the least.
I think you have just maybe 2 other top 10 teams in there with BYU and Stanford, but besides that, you want to see more for them before you really crown them as one of the better teams.
Yeah,
sure.
but
we still get the number 4 seed.
Yeah, they're on the brink of breaking into like true contender type area.
Yeah.
So now it's time for us to just run through some of the other top teams that we think are super interesting, have some top players, but maybe we don't think are true contenders like that for the championship. Now we can just move on to some of these other teams. We'll go through them a lot faster. Not as much to say about them.
Me personally, I would put USC, and we'll talk about them next, is at number 5.
Yep. Dylan Klein, super good outside. I think he's also up there for like top outsides in NCAA conversations. I think he's also really, really good on offense, but I think he's one of the better passing outsides in terms of offensive to defensive type outsides.
Yeah, and then the big man, Parker Tompkinson, the 7-footer.
This guy is crazy. We have so many tall players. This guy can move too.
Yeah. He's one of those people where it's like, oh, you want a shorter middle because he can move really well. This guy is one of the tallest guys, and he still moves really well.
Yeah, especially for that height. And I mean, he's just a freshman, so he's moving, like he's building into that like body, getting used to the level.
I know.
Jesus.
We have to see where he's going to go from here.
Even within this season, the development will be crazy. Yeah. So that's good for USC. They're 9-2 right now. Also a very good team.
All right, next, I would also put them here. I would put BYU next at 6.
I mean, main story for BYU is they have Keone Tim, and he just transferred out of Hawaii. Super cool. One of the biggest stories in the past couple of weeks is when he did return to Hawaii and they dueled it out. It's pretty cool. I mean, they lost, but Oh my God, he had that one block highlight.
Oh my goodness.
Nasty.
Yeah. I mean, he's so fun to watch. I mean, I don't even know how tall he is, but he just feels undersized because of how tall, because of how high he jumps.
Yep.
He looks undersized because he jumps out the damn gym.
He's probably the best jumper out there.
Oh yeah, hands down.
'Cause
Hands down.
Jesus. Or at least at the levels that we're seeing, because, oh my God.
Yeah, and it's so fun to watch him at BYU. I think he's having a lot of fun.
Yep. He's getting to play, which is very nice.
Yeah, he's getting to play, and he's doing a really good job with BYU. I think they've been looking really good as well.
Yep. So BYU, super cool. Definitely have to watch them as well, but move on again.
All right, we have to give some love to not just the West Coast teams. We got to give it to Loyola Chicago. Yes. I think they've been a really standout team so far where you could argue that they could be up there within the top 5, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see a little bit more as they play against the West Coast top teams, which are the top teams. But I think they're a good, like, solid, like, tier. If we were to call them like a tier 2 team, as the other teams were tier 1, this would be a good, like, strong tier 2 team.
Yeah.
That, who knows, maybe they could find their way breaking in. But
yeah, I think that they could be up there at the top of that tier 2. I would say. I think they're obviously led by their, like, Superman, I guess, is Parker Van Buren.
Yep. I mean, he's scoring.
This guy is just an absolute unit.
Yeah.
He's huge. He jumps out the gym, and he's absolutely ripping balls from the right side.
Yeah, I think he is one of the top scorers in NCAA right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They have played 14 games. Not every team's played that many, but he is one of the top kill number players in the league.
So another team that I personally would have them maybe around like 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah, this second tier basically.
Yeah, but we'll talk about Stanford. I think this is just another one of those teams. I personally think that it's a West Coast bias that the ABCA poll is still putting them so high. Obviously, they've still been good, but to me, I don't know if they're very deserving of being at so high.
When you lose to the what was it, the Masters University or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that team is the number 1 ranked NAIA team, but when you're representing the NCAA type, you don't want to lose that one, and it sucks that they lost, so it's kind of awkward.
And they've still been losing to some of these other teams too, right? I mean, they've lost to Hawaii, they've lost to Ball State. Who, sleeper, I think they could also be in the top 10. Ball State has been really good as well.
Yes.
So I think you definitely have to respect
another one of those things where we're basically just waiting for all these teams to, like, end up playing each other to get a more accurate ranking.
Yeah.
Because some teams get the bias where they're a little bit inflated or de-inflated based on the competition that they play. You don't, like, as we talked about Loyola earlier, when they're beating up against a bunch of, like, kind of more random teams.
It's hard to say. It's hard to pit them against these other teams like Stanford, where the record doesn't show that they've been as great.
Yes, they are 6-5, which does not look great on paper, just record-wise, but
they're playing really good teams. I mean, they played UCI twice already, and that's 2 of their losses. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a great team that they're losing to. So
losing to UCI, Long Beach, UCLA, Hawaii even does not normally matter too much when you're ranking these more second-tier teams because you expect them to lose. And that's probably it for Stanford. I just want to say I like their liberos. They take a lot of I don't know how to say this without it being weird, but they get hit with the ball. Like, they're not afraid a lot. They get hit. Like, they're getting beamed with the ball. They're not even exactly putting it up, but they are very fearless, which is cool. But that's all.
All right, so I'll just mention some other teams that I think, and we can talk about them just a tiny bit. I think CSUN has actually been a very good team. If you're not locked in, you probably don't know who the heck they are, but they've also been a very good team so far. So definitely worth mentioning for sure.
California teams.
Another one, I don't know if anyone knows who they are, and I think this has kind of become a meme at this point. Who is McKendree? This is one of the teams where no one knows who they are, but they're just a really tough team. They just fight every time. And I think they're actually, I would put them, maybe you sneak them into the top 10 just because
that's the more gritty. I mean, they're on the list, and as games go on more in the season, we'll figure out where every team belongs more.
Yeah, they've been a really gritty team.
Now it's my turn. Shout out one more team. This is my team. This is my favorite team where I went to school. UC San Diego, baby. They're 10-4 right now. They're the ABCA number 13 team, so not too bad. I think they belong in that range in the upper teens. So their losses have been to UCLA, Loyola Chicago, GCU, all top teams. What more can you say? They're beating these other teams. They're playing a lot more random teams, but they're beating them. Anthony Schiffan, opposite, super good. I think he's also a little bit higher in the top scorers for NCAA, so shout out to him. Jim Garrison, Peter Selcho, middle blockers, both super good. Unfortunately, I think these are all players that could end up, a lot of them are seniors, juniors, but you could see some transfers in the future, which sucks for us, but that's just how good the quality of players are for this year. Josh Sellinger, Leah Pradvinikov, both outsides, super good. Setter, Bryce Dvorek, also very good. Libero, Keegan Cook, he's actually really good. Really, really good. He's a standout player. I think another one of those types of things where you're like, oh, could transfer. But UCSD, looking fun. I think any game they play against any team will always be super fun. Might not win, but super fun team.
They have a lot of good. They've played a lot of good teams, so you kind of have to give it to them there.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Loyola Chicago, they played UCLA, they played GCU, all like really good teams.
Yeah. So those are all the teams that are higher than them in the rankings, and shows that they belong higher in the rankings. So.
They've been pretty good. They've been pretty good.
UCSD, Big West, so we'll see them playing all the top teams again soon. And their ranking might drop, which sucks. But I think that's it for our NCAA roundup. So it's time to move on. Welcome to the Rally Round, where we play all of our games like drafts and rankings. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to blind rank Simeon Nikolov's best plays from this NCAA season. So,
ooh, boy.
You already know. It's what everyone's been waiting for.
The alleged clip farmer.
Can you blind rank some of Simeon Nikolov's best NCAA plays? So for the first play, we have one of the ones that started it all, his fake set where it just overpasses over and drops.
Yeah, this is the classic. Everyone's seen this one for sure. The celebration is always really funny. I have to be conservative though. I feel like he didn't really do that much on the play.
Mm-hmm. It has turned into one of his staple moves because he's pulled it out a couple times in other matches.
It's definitely iconic, and I feel like you definitely would see kids at tournaments and stuff trying to do that. But I don't want to disrespect the moment because this is also, again, what started off. I'll put it at 4 though.
Okay. Solid 4. Next, we have another one of his early popular clips where he was jumping every time he took the first touch to screen the blockers.
This one's definitely just a meme. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's just having fun. All right, this one I had to just put at 5. He's not really doing really anything. It does look really funny though, so I'll give him that.
It is one of the funniest things he's done, but we can put it at 5.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes it feel like, he's having fun out there, and that's what you want to see.
Yep. So another thing that everyone tries to copy, I definitely had a game where I tried to copy it once. Didn't go so well. All right, so next we have another staple of Nikolov where he does a fake back row attack and then sets the ball.
Ooh, man. And not to mention that the set is also just straight dime too.
Perfect set.
Ooh.
You got 1, 2, and 3 left.
I kind of know what should be coming up, and if you didn't, if you're not doing me wrong here, I feel like I kind of know how it's supposed to play out here. I'm gonna put this one.
We couldn't include all of them. I mean, he has so many highlights.
He has a lot of clips.
So,
me personally, I'll put this at 2.
Ooh, okay.
It's definitely a really good play. I wouldn't put it at 1 because I feel like there's other ones that I definitely enjoy.
All right.
But this one's pretty crazy though.
Solid 2. Next we have UCLA setting an overpass ball, and Nikolov punishes them for it being too free.
Ooh, I know exactly what play this is. I know exactly the play. Whew, man. Oh yeah, this one is just insane. I mean, this shows how aggressive he can be as an offensive weapon for sure, and it's just insane. I mean, the dude is 6'9". He's just gonna straight up punish you for any free ball that you send over.
You got 1 and 3 left.
I still feel like,
This one does have the benefit. I mean, a lot of the later, more recent ones do, but this one does have the benefit of being in Long Beach in front of his home crowd.
That's true. Ooh, man.
Who knows what the last one could be?
I have an idea what the last one is. I just don't know if you put it in there or not. I'll put this one at 3. I don't feel really good about it, but I'll put it at 3. There's just one that I hope is in here for sure.
Well, at your number 1, we have the fastest recorded serve in NCAA history.
Here we go. This is the one that I was waiting to be in here, man. That's insane. I mean, he did it at Long Beach. Absolutely rips the serve. The team gets just a roof block right afterwards. It's amazing. The whole rally itself is just crazy. I mean, he's hitting the ball as fast as people are throwing a baseball. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's faster than some like professional level serves, which shows just how good he is.
Yeah. So I'm actually happy that I put this one at 1.
Yep, that is a pretty good ranking.
I like this one. I feel pretty good about it.
Did we get the ranking right? Now let's move on to this week's draft, where we're drafting teams using the NCAA men's players. Let's draft teams using NCAA men's players.
All right, so I know last time I had the first pick when we were doing the PVF draft, and how we do it here is that we just kind of alternate it. So, I guess you get the first pick.
Very, very obvious first pick. I'm taking Moni Nikolov as my setter.
Whew, man. I mean,
we knew it was coming.
Yeah, you'd be crazy to not take him first.
Yep. Highlight reel.
Yeah, and just, I think honestly, just the best player in
pro
men's
level
game
player
right now.
So.
Yeah. All right. Since you took a setter, I will not take a setter now because I don't need to take them until late. But there are a lot of these players, and I think it might be the most important role for right now. So I'm going to rock with them. I'm going to take the Frenchman, Hilaire Heno.
Ooh, okay. Taking Heno from UCI. That's
I
good pick.
I want to get my outside.
Reigning National Player of the Year. So
yeah. I don't think that's a bad pick. I don't think that's a bad pick to take. Man, I know there's a player, if I don't take him, you're going to take him. And it's going to be for the clout. There's one player that you would take for the clout after Nikolov. All right, if you're not going to take him, that's fine. I'm not going to take him. But I'm going to take just my other outside. I think he's been fantastic for the Bruins. I'm going to take Cooper Robinson.
Oh my God, that's who I thought you were going to take.
So I got my outsides. Locked up.
That is who I wanted.
I got Heno and Cooper Robinson.
Dang it.
Passing is going to be really good. Obviously, they can be really terminal. And I mean, Heno, insane serve. Cooper Robinson got a good serve too.
Yeah, you got 2 of the best outsides out there. That's tough for me. Well, since I have Long Beach already, I'm going to stick with it, especially because this guy, he gets a lot of the benefits from Moni's sets. So I'm taking Daniil. I'm going to take Daniil Hrstinovic from Long Beach. So I mean, the pairing, they just work so well together.
Yeah. He's the one that gets all the one-on-ones and like the free swings. So
had to take him, had to keep the chemistry going.
Yeah.
So that's my right side. And then, now we got decisions to make. I think I got a tall team already. I'm just going to keep with it. So for my middle, I'm taking Parker Tompkinson from USC.
Damn.
We got the big boys out here in my team.
Damn. I thought maybe you might have left him because I don't know if you're tapped in with USC like that. Damn. All right. Whew. Okay, that makes it a little tougher for me. All right, since he took a right side, I know I don't have to take one. That also helps.
Yep. I mean, it's just middles and liberos now.
Yeah, it's the middles and the libs here.
Yep.
All right. You know what? I might be really UCLA heavy here.
Ooh.
I'm going to take both of my middles now. I'm going to take Cam Thorne and I'm going to take Sean McQuiggan.
Ooh, okay.
And get both of my middles out.
You got the UCLA squad. Oh my God, you just got I'm just playing UCLA out here.
Oh yeah.
It's Long Beach versus UCLA.
And I got Heno on the outside, man.
Shoot.
You replace Zach Rama and you put Heno in there. Hey, hey, I'm cooking.
This is a tough team.
Well, both teams are gonna be really good.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the league's
both teams.
NCAA men's is stacked.
Both teams are gonna be crazy.
Here, I'm just gonna take my libero since it's our only overlapping position left. I'm gonna take Evan Porter from Stanford. I just love the Stanford liberos. I think they just, like I said another time, they just get hit with the ball. They just take it. You know? It's up. They might die, but it's up.
All right.
So that's my libero. And I'm just going to keep running with Long Beach. I'm going to take Skylar Varga from my outside.
Hey, he's been killing it too.
Yep.
He's been really good for them too.
Keeping the chemistry on my team.
For sure. Hey, I got chemistry.
Same with you.
I got chemistry over here too.
Hold up.
All right, this is perfect. Actually, so we don't really have any more overlapping positions.
Yeah,
right?
we're done overlapping.
Yeah. So this is perfect. I still got my guy. I've been rocking with him for a while. I was just, I was waiting to see when he would be able to get to play. So I'm going to take my guy, Kellen Larson, for my lib. Love seeing him out there.
Solid.
Great serve receiver for Long Beach. He's been really consistent for them.
He's a traitor for your team, I guess.
It's a little tough with the liberos, though, because a lot of them, they only play one side of the ball.
Yeah.
I think for Long Beach, UCLA does it. I think UCI might be one that doesn't do it.
Yeah, but most teams end up doing it.
Most teams end up using two,
or at least trying it sometimes.
Yeah, most teams use two libs, and one for receiving, and then one.
That's just defense, the system we have nowadays.
But I still got my guy Kellen Larson there. All right, and then now at this point, it doesn't really matter which one I take.
Pick whoever you want.
But I'll take the mastermind behind UCLA. So now I got all the chemistry going
the UCLA
here.
gang.
I'm taking Andrew Rowan. Arguably one of the best setters. Obviously, he's led them to 2 national championships.
He is definitely one of the best setters.
Moni Nikolov is, he's up there for sure, obviously. So, I don't know. You could kind of go either one with them. They're both great.
This is the setting duel everyone wants to see.
They're both great.
Yep. This is where I can finally diversify my team a little bit away from Long Beach. So for my outside, I'm taking Adrian Rohr from Hawaii. So I think he's been pretty good. He's been like one of their top attackers. So I like him on the outside. He's good at passing. And then for my final pick, my final middle, I'm going to take Micah Goss from UCI.
Okay.
Another beast.
Yeah. All right, and then to round out my team, I'm going to take Nolan Flexen. Also, again, just one of the young up-and-coming USA players that hopefully can step into the national team and see how he does. But right now for UCI, he's been amazing for them.
Yep. I mean, I'll just say I didn't pick him because he played bad against UCLA.
All right. Yeah, that's true. But
yeah,
overall, he's had a good season. He's been pretty good.
Yep. Very, very strong. He's pretty elite in every single other game he's played.
Yeah. All right, we'll go over the final teams here.
Yes.
You can go first since you had that first pick.
So for my setter, I took Simone Nikolov from Long Beach. My outsides are Skylar Varga from Long Beach and Adrian Rohr from Hawaii. My middles are Micah Goss from UCI and Parker Tompkinson from USC. My right side is Daniil Hershtinovich from Long Beach. And my libero is Evan Porter from Stanford.
All right. So over here, we got rocking some UCLA love out here. We got Andrew Rowan running the show at setter from UCLA. We got Hilaire Heno. He'll sub in for Zach Rama from UCI.
Like, pretty good sub.
We got Cooper Robinson to round out the outsides there. And then I took both middles, so I took Cam Thorne and Sean McQuiggan from UCLA. Finally, we have Nolan Flexen also from UCI as the right side. And we got Kellen Larson, my guy from Long Beach.
Who do you think won that draft? That means we can move on to our final segment where we're playing another round of Guess the Player, but this time we're doing it a little bit different. So we're going to be giving hints starting off from the most difficult to the easiest, and we're going to see how far along we can finally guess the player.
Guess my player with these hints. All right, first, I just say it's a female player. Got a big range here.
Well, that's a lot of people. Let's see. Who am I liking playing right now? I'm gonna pick one of my favorite players. Let's go, Logan Eggleston.
Okay, incorrect over there. Next, we'll get just a little bit more specific here. She does still play in college right now.
Okay, that was a wrong start to guess, but
it was really broad. We're making it a little easier for you.
Okay, then let's move on to, let's just go to Harper Murray.
Not it.
Dang.
Not Harper Murray. All right, next we got that she's actually a libero/DS.
Libero/DS. I'm just gonna keep sticking with, wow, I butchered that. I'm just gonna keep sticking with Nebraska. Is it Lainey Choboy?
My player is Lainey Choboy.
Let's go.
This guy got so lucky that he just said Harper Murray, and he just decided to stick with Nebraska.
We ride.
Damn. The next hint is that she plays in the Big Ten. Next, the school she plays for is predominantly red.
Oh, good hints. That helps a lot.
Narrowing it down, they were in the Final Four last year. And the last hint is that she has blonde hair.
That does narrow it down a lot. All right.
Got lucky, getting it in 3. All right, and that's it. So how long did it take you guys to guess it? Man, got so lucky.
I just started off Nebraska. I was like,
Just said Harper Murray randomly, and then like, oh yeah, I'll just stick with Nebraska.
Yeah, I was like, why not? Let's go. That's a dub. And the first hint was female player.
I know. I kept it so broad to make it harder. So it has to go like a lot. Damn.
All right. Well, it's time for you to guess my mystery player. Guess the mystery player using hints that gradually get easier. How fast can you figure it out? I did mine in levels, and I got 10 levels. So at level 10, his current season... Ah, shoot, I said he. All right. You got the he already.
It's a guy.
Okay. So his current season stats, he has 64 kills, 18 blocks, and 6 aces.
I'll just think out loud here. I don't think that it's Nikolov just because I think he has more blocks than, what'd you say, 16 blocks?
18.
I think he still has more than that. Damn. But who else would be playing that only has that many blocks? I'm just going to assume that they're a college player, I guess, for now. I don't know. I'll just say... Oh, damn, but the kills are low too, actually.
Yep. Potentially hasn't played too many games.
I haven't been tapped in. This isn't Keone Tim, right?
It is not Keone Tim.
All right. I don't know if he's been hurt or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's played most of the season, but...
All right, well, then that's super
chilling. Let's move on to level 9. Your level 9 hint is that he was a skateboarder before playing volleyball.
What the...
Still keeping it vague.
What the hell?
Maybe it can tell you something a little bit about his vibes, you know?
It feels like all the college players have that type of vibe, though. What were the stats again?
64 kills, 18 blocks, and 6 aces.
6, okay. So they do serve. Who is this man?
It's okay. We got 10 levels. This is still keeping it vague.
Okay, hold on. What if I just go a different angle here? What if he's not in... No, wait, no. You said he's a skateboarder. This has got to be U.S. There's no way it's an international player. You said skateboarder. There's no way.
Yeah. Okay. That was a little bit of the part of the hint.
Okay. I was about to guess something wild. Okay, I'm glad that I caught myself there. Oh, damn. I'll put like, maybe it's a middle, like Cam Thorne? I don't know.
Incorrect. It is not Cam Thorne.
Okay.
Let's move on. The next hint is that his most popular tattoo is of a shrimp playing the saxophone. And if you know, you know.
Oh, I do not know. Oh, gosh. What?
But you know he has tattoos. So that's what's most important.
That honestly doesn't even help me. A shrimp playing the saxophone. All right, that low-key makes me think, like, is it like a beach guy? You know, any jumbos out there? I don't know.
It's an interesting angle.
I don't even know if I'm tapped in like that on the beach guys either. But a skateboarder, you know, that kind of gives the same feel.
It's giving that LA like SoCal type
Yeah,
vibe.
it kind of feels like that. And you know, beach, skateboard. I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. I have no idea. But you gave stats. It just makes you. It just feels like it has to be like indoor. I don't know if they'd have the stats like that.
I mean, they're pretty basic stats.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what dudes even in beach have tattoos like that either, though. They definitely. I feel like some of them do. I just don't really know it like that. Though.
I'll say it's not too big of a tattoo. It's not like crazy like.
God damn! Oh my god! Jesus, the stats are throwing me off though. Because it's like super basic, and there's like not one thing that really stands out with the stats. Oh my god. Oh man. I don't even have a guess. Just go to the next one. Okay. I have no idea.
Next hint.
I'm still so lost.
Next hint, level 7. This one will probably send you back on the right path. So he's a pro player, and his career path has been playing in Italy, then France, then Poland, and is currently playing in Italy. So, you know, it's a pro player with a little bit longer of a career, not first year.
I don't even know pro players like that, though. Still, it strikes me as the vibes of... He's got to be from the U.S., though. He said he's skateboarding.
Skateboarding not as popular.
I feel like he's got to be a U.S. guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And I don't really follow the pro scene that well. Oh, man. Okay.
So we still got plenty of hints in the store.
Is it like Micah? Micah Christensen or something?
It is not Micah Christensen.
I don't know. The stats don't sound right. I mean, the setter's not going to have that many kills.
Well, the level 6 hint is that he's a middle blocker.
Okay, he's a middle. Oh my god. Is it Taylor Averill?
It is Taylor
God
Averill.
damn. Oh, that should have been so... When you hear about the stats are like, the only position that actually really should have made sense was a middle.
Yeah.
You're getting blocks, you're still getting kills.
But it could be a little tricky. It could potentially be a setter who just likes to dump a little bit or has gotten a little lucky.
And then you said skateboarder. He is the quintessential dude on the USA team that I would, if you said skateboarder, he should have came up.
Yep, I mean,
oh my god,
that was it.
I was still in college on that though, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
So might have missed out on that one.
Sorry, Taylor Averill. I'm not tapped in like that. My bad.
So I'll just read off the remaining hints. So the level 5 hint is that he had a podcast.
Okay, I would have known that.
Yeah, that really makes it a little easier.
What is it? The
tallest podcast on earth.
Tallest podcast. Shout out.
Yep. The level 4 hint is he played college at Hawaii.
Okay.
Yep. Easier and easier.
Yeah.
The level 3 hint is that he's a big Bay to Bay guy for high school club level.
Right.
So
I have seen him on their Instagram posts. So.
Yes. I think he coaches them a lot still. So.
Yeah.
The level 2 hint, one of the easiest hints, is that he's known for wearing a headband during play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I wouldn't have already gotten it then, I would have definitely known it from there. For sure.
And the level 1 hint, which is the easiest hint, is that he was the 2024 Olympics best blocker.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. There's only one guy who fits that category.
Yeah. Put some respect on Taylor's name, man.
That's our guy, repping the U.S. What level were you able to guess the player?
Man, that's so disappointing, though.
Unfortunate.
When you say the tattoo, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense now.
Yeah, the tattoo went a little bit viral, but it was like you had to really be tapped in, and to remember that is like a little specific.
Oh, they actually did a story on that during the Olympics or something, right?
Yeah, I think.
Damn it.
Yeah, it was viral.
I think I literally saw that too.
Yep.
Damn.
But it's a little difficult to remember.
It's funny that clicked way afterwards though. I was like, wait a second. He's a middle. Oh my God, that made so much sense. Yep. Ain't no way Max Holt got one of those. David Smith does not have that either, so.
It's one of those classics. After you know who the player is, obviously it gets very easy.
I still got it halfway through though.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Not great, but I'll take it.
Let's see if he did better than you guys. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found this interesting and to encourage us to do a little bit more. So hopefully you do, and we'll see you next time.
Later.